Okay, they might be able to hear me now, but it might be really poor quality. Anyway, all I was talking about is the final project, where we were going from here. These last two lessons, we're going to work on those by Friday of this week, and then you'll have a week to complete late assignments and anything you're not finished. This is what I used to have set up for the course finalization in terms of your final project, and
Okay,
it
they
was.
might be able to hear me now, but it might be really poor quality. Anyway, all I was talking about is the final project, where we were going from here. These last two lessons, we're going to work on those by Friday of this week. And then you'll
Okay,
have a
so
week to complete
I'm not
late
doing that
assignments
obviously
and
this
anything
year.
you're
I
not
don't want to
finished.
put you into groups because
This is
I don't know
what I
what
used to have set up
groups,
for the
what
course
people will be
finalization in
here.
terms of your
I don't know
final
if we're going to end
project.
up on
And
remote learning again. I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm just going to abandon the
Anyway,
group
all I
thing.
was talking about
But I
is the
just
final
want you to
project,
remember, at
where
no
we were going
point if
from
you go
here,
into
these
this
last
field
two
will you work
lessons,
on
we're
a
gonna
project
work on those by
completely
Friday of this
alone
week.
without anyone else
And then
having to
you'll
have
have
any input.
I'm not
Very
doing that
rarely
obviously
will you
this year.
develop
I
the
don't want
entire
to put
thing
you
by
into
yourself.
groups because this
We're not
is
going
what
to
we
do
like
group
to have set
things.
up for
This
what
is the
people
old
need. I don't know
final
if we're gonna end up
project.
on,
We're going to be working on
again.
the
I don't
major
know.
project
I'm just
for
going to
remote
abandon
learning.
the group things.
There's not a lot of difference between this major project and the one that we did in CS20, except for obviously the fact that you're going to use Java, so I expect
without
much
anyone
more
else
functionality in the program. I give you a kicking off spot to make some type of game or something like that for elementary students, just as an idea of somewhere to start from. You don't have to start from there. That's just somewhere I give you an idea so that just in case, just in case you can't think of anything and you have an idea of where to start from. As I have highlighted down here, if you have a better idea and you want to do something different, just let me know in advance. Send me an email, send me a message. I'll most likely greenlight anything that you suggest. So long as it's going to take the same amount of effort, you're going to include all the same requirements, it doesn't matter to me. Okay? I need you to include skills learned in the 9 modules of computer science. Now, I'm not 100% sure there's still 9, but you just have to include something from every module. Okay, so when we go into our computer science 20 class, we can say that starting with 1, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So there's a 9, there's 7. Okay, so in here where it says 9, you're looking at 7 modules that you need to include. You need to comment that and say this is module 1, Baron, this is module 2, here's an array, Baron. All of that stuff needs to be included. Okay? And that's what this section is here. And this part says all 9 don't need present for each group member. That's obviously if you were making it a group, but we're not. So you can ignore this parentheses right here. Okay, graphics are not a requirement, but are acceptable if you appreciate it. There's one small little lesson on graphics. You don't have to include those. If you feel like you have time and you want to, feel free to do that. Okay? Housekeeping items in terms of what the final project should look like. This is your final project, similar to what English teachers do with final essays. Rather than make you write an essay in 2 hours, they have you write the essay in advance, and then when you come into the final, the rest of the final is just about other parts. So this is the same thing. This is your final project. I'm looking at a minimum of 5 hours is what you're going to spend on this. Okay? So when I look at the program, I should see 5 hours worth of work. When you submit it, you need all your Java files, but I also want you to try something new, which is to submit an executable file. So a .exe file that I can run. Okay? There's a site here on how to export projects to executable, and don't spend a lot of time worrying about what your icon will look like. The default Java icon is fine, so you only need to follow up to step 4. If you feel like going further and you want to make a fancy icon, feel free to do that, but again, don't waste time on the icon when you should be putting time into the coding. That's what's more important to me. And this is not something I'm going to take marks off of if you can't figure it out, but I do want you to make an attempt to include the exe file in the final project. Okay? That's it for the final project. That's something that you can be starting now. So if you get sick of doing the problems that I've provided for you, you could put a little bit of time into your final project. It's something that I would like you to have submitted by the 25th so that you're free and clear of it when it comes time to study for finals. You don't have to be worrying about finishing your program while you're trying to study for your other classes and this class in terms of what's happening in the finals. Okay? So I'd like to have that done by the 25th. If at all possible, I'll obviously accept it. I think we're allowed to take marks until the 29th. I'll obviously accept it up until the 29th. After that, I think it's much more difficult. Okay? That is the final project. I like to introduce it a little bit early so that students have time to get to it if they want to.
I'd like to have that done by the 25th.
The other aspect of the final is this review. I think I have a 40-question exam that just pulls questions from all the exams you've already done up to exam number 5. I don't think I have two tests. I think this is the last test. So I'll pull exam questions out of here, maybe a few questions out of this quiz, and that's everything that'll be on this exam. It'll just pull 40 questions. You can just go and do all the practice assignments or practice tests. The difference with this exam is I don't have a time limit on it other than 2 hours. If you need 2.5, you take 2.5. So it's a different exam than the other one. There's also this game thing which you did in grade 11. Those that finished it. It's not a requirement for something fun. Okay, there's a review here, and I will probably near the end of the course, I'll probably touch on it again around here in terms of what the final will look like. The big thing is this final project. It's worth much more in terms of your CFD than this is, so please make sure you put the effort and time into this one that you need to. Okay, if you have questions,